What is going on, guys? Your boy Guns here, and yes, we hit 100 million merits. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of, telling the wife don't be scheduling me for nothing. Because we're locking in, we're going for it, okay? Listen, guys. To get 100 and okay, well, like, what is the purpose of this video? Is this purpose of this video to like flex or anything like that? Well, a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But the main purpose of this video though is to kind of explain to you guys, number one, approximately how much resources are you gonna need for 100 mil merit push, because it's a big accolade to achieve. Not everyone can achieve it, especially if you do it solo and unpiloted. We don't gotta say names of those people, right? I mean, it is what it is. But so the resources, the money that I personally spent getting there, and probably the biggest one based off the title that you guys are probably going to want to see is like, what marches did I use? Okay, what marches did I use that helped me get to that specific goal? Okay, and number 4, was it worth it? And kind of like a 5, kind of 4, kind of intertwined between each other was what kind of like mental state was I going through in this journey to 100 million merits, guys. So as you can see now, like, one of the main reasons why I wanted the accolade is because, like, for me, not even as a content creator, guys, just as a player in general. Let me turn this down a little bit. As a player in general, I like to have what I like to call street cred, like street cred within the community. Like, yeah, that guy can get down in the field, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, now it shows my season record here. What's crazy, guys, is I reached the 100 mil merits, like 4 days ago. 4 days ago. What has still left me with approximately 16 days, 2 more weeks to get to 100 million. As you guys can see, let me show you guys. So my deads, I'm at 3.7 million deads. Okay. And I'm actually almost fully healed. So what I'm doing now, honestly, is like recovering my mental. Just from all the fighting that we did, especially with leadership stuff and content creating and everything like that, because it's not just fighting for me. Okay, so number 1, let's go. Let me show you guys directly from the Call of Dragon stats. Shout out to Call of Stats. Okay. So we went in and checked the dates here for comparison. So you can tell I'm not lying of what I use or anything like that. Okay, so server 40. I put a link to the description on this for this website. That way you can see. You hit compare and then you choose the dates over here. Okay, so I'm comparing right around the time that pass opened, roughly. All right, let's see. War stats. Merit to power ratio, 49.83%, guys. I went absolutely ham. Okay. Kill to heal ratio, negative 2.77%. Shout out all the infantry, and I'll show you guys all the breakdown. Units killed, 244 million units killed, 3.75 million units dead. I healed 157 million units. I killed 228 million T5, 11.2 million T4, 143 T3, 658k T2s, and probably these were probably like workhorses. Now the juicy ones, okay? Gathered resources. My goodness, I barely farmed. But anyways, the main thing, spent resources. Gold spent, 8.8 billion gold, 8.6 billion wood, 5.1 billion ore, and the one and only most expensive one, 5.2 billion mana spent. Now, the approximate resources that I use in terms of money is like roughly about roughly $2,500 to almost $3,000 in resources. Okay, depending on whether you take advantage of the bazaar, or you ended up having to refer over to supply station, which I had to buy the Goldie supply station 3 times this season. I thought I was going to buy it a little bit more, I'm not going to lie, so I'm glad we didn't have to dig deeper into the Call of Dragons funds. But yeah, anyways, like anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 you're looking at in just resources for a single season, bro. It is absolutely insane the amount of mana spent that goes into this. Like, I mean, listen, I did it for this season, a full send season for me, to be able to, reach that massive accolade that only top fighters get in KVK1. That's a big part too, guys. No, I'm not taking it away from some of you guys that are getting 100 mil merits plus in other KVKs, but it's very different getting 100 mil merit in KVK1 compared to any other KVK. And I mean, those are pretty much the stats there. I mean, let's see, what other stats does this show actually? What other stats does this show? Let's scroll down here. Tournament of Champions. I like never played it. Highest historical merits prior. 40. Oh, plus. I went 43 million merits plus what I'm used to. Keep in mind, guys, there's still like 11 or 12 days. Anything can happen, you know, if BTX, NXW and WB are in a 3v2 against us and we're still touching the plateau of the dragon, so maybe they decide to push us. I don't know. I don't know, some part of me kind of doubts it. I don't know what's going on with their camps. I don't know if they're just like done with the season or why they're not pushing. It honestly kind of blows my mind that they're not like trying to push us out. I mean, and then on the flip side for us, I mean, it's a 3v2. Like, I mean, this morning WAO and TFS tried pushing NXW and we failed pretty miserably. So like for us to want to push the dragon, impossible at this point, you know. So I mean, we've tried. It's their turn. See what they do. But anyways, all right. So we talked about the resources used. Now let's talk about the marches that I was using. Let's talk about the marches that I was using. Okay, so a few variations. A lot of you guys been asking me, Guns, what is the new best setup to run? Okay, so let me show you guys the breakdown of my current merits. That way you guys can see what I used. So the one that I used the least was my my marksman. Well, because it was literally just Max A at one point. So I used her for a bit, and I would have continued using her, but archers use, I believe it's gold and ore, so they leave a bunch of wood in the middle just like not being used. So I had to focus on troops that use a little bit of everything. Okay, so anyways, 2.6 million on the marksman side. Cavalry 19 million. That's probably going to be around 20 million by the end of the season, to be honest. And then infantry at 32.9 million merits with infantry, so we definitely, you know, use a lot of infantry. Also, if you don't use that much infantry and you have the luxury to get to 100 million with just mages alone, yeah, you're gonna save yourself a lot of money, right? And then mages, my bread and butter, 46.9 million. So I want to hit at least 50 million mage merits by the end of the season, hopefully. That's kind of like a little side task. And the fact that we got like 10 or 11 million 10 or like 10 to 11 days left, I might try to go up to like 110 million possibly, but I'm not really like pressed for it or anything. I'm honestly just like, I already have like my farming talents on, like I'm gathering extra warrants, you know, I still have resource healing. Like I don't really need any of the this other stuff, to be honest. So I'm like, yeah, season's pretty much over, so I might as well get that extra warrant. Okay, now for the marches. Okay, preset number 1. Okay, preset number 1. So let me show you guys the DPS setup that I had, right? So boom, 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 and then the one sand lizard. Okay, so this right here was one of the main ones that I used when I was using 5 marches. Now the move, sometimes I switch that around with Valen. I'm not 100% sure which one's better, but I do think that a lot of people love the move Valen. So you could either go move Valen or move Ballhorn. I know a lot of you guys probably don't have Ballhorn, but I can tell you that Ballhorn has been an absolute amazing, very versatile hero for me. So this is, you know, the first setup that I had. at Thunder Elegy on this one. Let's go ahead and save that there. So this is my 5 mage setup. So the main one that a lot of you guys. So in terms of merit order, first merits went to me and Grimora, obviously, and then second was Bertohar. These guys would kind of switch between second, honestly, second and third a little bit, and then Mu Ballhorn was like third, sometimes fourth, sometimes fourth, and then Lilia Thea actually with the Sand Lizard was actually really good. You got to make sure your Sand Lizard has a heart wall, that way that you help trigger Thea's shield, helping her keep her uptime a little longer on her setup. Okay, so number 2. This is another one that I tried here, guys. These are all great combinations. Believe it or not, Grimora Lilia actually did pretty dang good for me. And I think that it had a lot to do with the fact that I had a Sand Lizard on it. Let me show you guys the builds real quick. So you guys see all of this right here, right? All my builds are the same. So, you know, I'll show you guys real quick. I'll make sure, I'll show you guys here. Let me make sure I write it down real quick. Magbert. Oh, I actually did switch up my my builds a little bit. Moo, Lilia. Okay. Okay, and then the second one. Okay, so I use the Seraphic on my Mag Thundlin. Amazing March, man. Such a good March. Such a good March. I use the Seraphic on it. Sometimes I will throw the Sand Lizard on it, and I'll explain Sand Lizard or DPS pet, okay? And then here's my Shadow Fey Drake. Here's my the Sapphire that I ran on my Mingramara sometimes, and then, you know, sometimes I'd run the Seraphic on it. Here's the other Sapphire that I ran on my Moo. And then here is the Sand Lizard. Which one is it? Which one is it? This one is the one that I would run really on this setup right here. Or specifically, actually, sorry about that. This one right here, the one with the heart wall. So that was my setup there. Number 2 setup was here. I'll essentially just do Ming Thalea and then Grimora Lilia, and then Mu Thea is like the main change there. Okay, and I kind of told you guys like the order of like which one was getting me the most merits. Once again, like gun to my head, pick. You have to pick, no 2 or 3 or whatever. I would say Ming Thalea for sure, number 1. Number 2, Bert Tohar. Number 3, Mag Thundlin. Number 4, Mu Thea. I don't know what's been going on with my Mu Thea for me lately, guys. I don't know if it's just, let me know in the comment section below if it's just me or what's going on. Maybe they nerf a little bit of the healing, the merits that you get. I don't know, but I didn't get it like super crazy reports with a Mu Thea this season. Maybe something changed. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And then 5th was like Grimora Lilia. But sometimes the Grimora Lilia, if we were hitting range units, if we got close enough to hit range units, it would definitely cook. Also, some people have asked me the question of, does Lilia work when she's in depth, or does the Inferno Flame work when Lilia's in deputy? Yes, it has been confirmed even through CS. Let me show you guys the Sand Lizards that I have. I have 4 of them. Hold on. Where's my other Sand Lizard? There it is. Okay, so Sand Lizard 1. This is the one that I recommend, guys. This is a perfect Sand Lizard, guys. If you can get a 6, obviously a perfect would be 8 slot, whatever, right? But you don't need more than 6 slots. So if you can get a good 6 slotter with over 270 agility, just in case you want to put the EOS skill on it, that is 100% the move to run on it. Intel could obviously be higher, but we can fruit that if we really wanted to. And then the Spirit is almost maxed, okay? So all of that's going to help out on the main things that we're using here. Especially, yeah, so these are the main, those 4 right here. Great Care. Great Care is the most important one. That's why I have a 3-star. Divine Blessing, Tranquility, and Outbursts of Rage. The approximate cost of this pet from 0, if you're just gonna capture it, make it 1-star and go, it's about $75 to $100, I think, for this specific one. Okay, the next one that we got here is Ming Thalea. This one has like the core, like fundamental ones on there. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's missing the Outburst of Rage. This one's missing Outburst of Rage. It has 3-star wind agility because this is the pet that I use for my runner on row. But there's that sand lizard. Here's this sand lizard that I put for that. Anyone that has my Thea, I make sure I put the heart wall on it. And then here's my other sand lizard that I've had for a very long time. When Mags A first came out, guys, Shadow Manticore wasn't out, so everyone was building sand lizards for their Mags A. So, yeah. And then, where is? This was my number 4 setup. So this is the main. This is the main one that I would run. 4 mages, 1 infantry. That was my main setup for this entire KVK right here, guys. You guys are looking right at it. Okay, this is my best setup right here, and I will not go back on any other setup but this one. And like, you know, some people have told me like maybe next time you should do a Moo Thunderlin here and just do Mags A maybe, and see how that works. But I mean, you know, we'll see. Every season's different. So this is like the main one that I would run. Okay, let me make sure I put the Kuma. And then the Nea. And then when this would stam out, I would run my Gorish as well. I'd run my Gorish as well. And when my Gorish would stam out, I would also run my Danfell. But the only time I used my Danfell personally was tank on tank. Because Danfell Magro tank on tank actually excels very well compared to like Gorish Skogul tank on tank is like pretty miserable. You kind of got to yeet him into like range units. Try to get as many targets to hit you as possible to get a good Gorish Skogul going. Now, the next one that I won't go into, I'll put a link in the description for my Cav one. This is my damage build. Okay, I got in a lot of little like Cav brawls out there, and my damage build was perfect because I'm not out hunting. I just want to hit as hard as possible when you're pushing my teammates or you're in or around my city. So this is the setup that I will run, and believe it or not, guys, the Bullion Beast at this configuration was already keeping up with some of my other Cav pets. And let me show you my other Cav pets. They're no pushovers. Look at that Moonbear. Okay, bang. Look at that Nightronk. Bang. Look at that Blade Manticore. Bang. Look at that Auric Warhound. Bang. Even though this little Bullion Beast was still putting up great numbers, bro. So this little pet's for sure probably going to be the highest DPS dealing pet in the game. Now, I did run some infantry setups, guys. Let me show you guys this is my flyer setup. There were some scenarios where I ran this flyer setup right here. Didn't really use it too much. It was a very situational kind of thing. If we're near mountains and they're blinking a lot on us, I would use the flyers as well. Let me go ahead. So boom, our Kuma Kwan. Boom, our Gorish Skogul. Boom, our Danfell Mong. Let's see. Oh, these are kind of cooked. I mean, to talk about the other one, I was using Matty Garwood, and the other one was Hosk Nika. Okay, or sometimes I would do Hosk Indis depending on the situation. But these 3 main tank marches are the main ones that I would run. Now, let me go ahead and now you guys saw the Cav merits, right? It was like 19 million merits, and the main way that I was getting majority of my merits right here, guys. Ragnea, okay? Ragnea. I'll probably end up making an individual kind of video for this one, but actually, yeah, I'll probably make a yeah, this one's definitely an individual video. But anyways, so I'll show you guys the talents and everything like that for the individual one. So Ragnea, Wolf Warhound, Wolfhound Horn, and Auric Warhound. Now, if I really didn't need to use my infantry or had like any infantry, but I had Cavs available, then I would run my Mozrock on it because of the counter kit setup that I had. It would have performed really, really good with it. So these marches right here, the Nea's ability to have camouflage and sneak up on the enemies, especially in our situation where NXW always outnumbered us no matter what. being able to get in close with the Uragnea and then procking my artifact damage in their face was really, really nice. Because anytime that I tried running any other cavalry setup to include the G5 to even test them, they would just get smoked because they would see me and trap me and torque me and hammer me or whatever, and then I was cooked. But the Nea allowed me just enough camouflage and sneakiness to sneak up on the enemies and get anywhere from 30 to 40k merits every time that I sent them out. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me show you guys a little bit of merits here. I know this is a long video, guys, but I mean, it's my road to 100 million. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff. So here's some reports to show you guys. I'm not going to show you every single one, but majority of the ones that you guys can see are all like 2.0 plus trades. I mean, Mingramar is insane. Mag Thunderlin there. You can kind of see all the trades were pretty good. You know, a lot of tanks on here. Right, a lot of tanks on the reports. Here is like one of my better runs right here. Bird Tohar, 72k. Look at those trades, almost a 3.0. Here's Mingramora, 139. This one was with a Sand Lizard. Okay, this one was a Sand Lizard. Mag Thunderlin, 88.1k. Muthea. This one was one of my like lower performing Mutheas, 2.0 nonetheless. But once again, guys, like I said, let me know. I did this one. These ones refreshed early. Look, I still had 133k remaining, so these could have easily got like 50, 60k reports, but 2.0 plus on that. Really good trades, 2.0 plus. Like when you're in a top KVK, 2.0, 3.0 is usually like what you're aiming. Anything under 2.0, you kind of start raising questions like, okay, what's going on with this March and why is it not performing good? Now, depending on your decos too, right? I do have 31% deco and SVIP, so all of that stuff kind of plays into it. My Gorsh Skogul got a crazy report on the Dragon Zone, which was nuts. But yeah, that's what that did. I even did a Haas Kuma cheese setup, which I didn't do much because I need my Kuma for infantry, even though it is a very cheesy, quick way to get some merits. I didn't do it that much because, you know, my team needs my infantry. So even though I love merits, like at some point you got to draw the line, you know? So here is a little example of my Nea Urag. Just an insane march, man. An insane march. A few more in here. These are all from this season. You can see I really tried Mu Ballhorn out pretty heavily this season. Did pretty good. Another Nea Urag, man. Nea Urag and Kuma Kwan were my bread earners during the times that there wasn't much war. Okay, boom, 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 boom. These are like from a few Bastion rallies. I even tried Nea Freya. I think I showed you guys that report. I even got rallied, bros. I even got rallied. Where's this report at? I even got right here. Look at this. Look at this. This is gonna be a video of its own. Like city stuff. So like they swarm me. Look at these trades. They swarm me. I get the video and everything. So that's gonna be a video of its own. So okay, now. So how did the situation go? Now, when the main fighting started, guys, my main configuration was 4 mages and 1 infantry. That was my main go-to setup. Like, big wars were crashing into each other. They got a lot of people. You know, we got people on to, like, you know, at least defend. And that was my main setup. 4 mages, 1 infantry. Now, my infantry got stamped. Boom, here comes the 5 infantry, or the 5 mages. We're stunning around low on mages. Boom, let's get the Nea Urag in there. I will fight with my 4 mages, and then when they got a little lackadaisical, boom, there goes the Nea Urag going in to trigger in that wolf howl horn in their face on the range units that are not necessarily paying attention. All right. Now for Kuma Kwan, you want to prioritize trying to use them like on your territory. Obviously, you don't always have that luxury. Now, for us, our situation with NXW, but when we were in this zone, we ended up just giving up on this zone because, you know, we're focusing on final zone. We were expecting them to push us, maybe that changes, and trying to go for our necro and do all kinds of other stuff. But they haven't done anything. So now I feel like trash because we should have just kept fighting zone 2. But anyways, 2020 hindsight, right? 2020 hindsight was we zero ourselves here defending again since the beginning of the KVK. And then they actually push us and we have no troops. So I'd rather have our troops nice and healthy for if that happens. On top of that, a lot of us are pretty much mentally fatigued from the fighting. So yeah, Kuma Kwan and Naya were my bread earners, guys. When it came down to those grindy, like, what do you do when there's no fighting? Do you just stop trying to go for your goal because it's over? No. That's where the really grindy side of the road to 100 million merits goes to. That means you're looking for players off territory. You're getting on around reset to see who's capturing pets, and you're gonna try to catch them slipping. Okay, you got to make sure that you have your dates available around passes specifically. Right. You also got to study your enemy. Like, what are their patterns? When are they pushing? When are they, the most active? Or when are they, what areas do they like to capture their pets? Like, all of this stuff you got to take into consideration when you're trying to maximize the amount of mares that you want to get, because I promise you got to go into this with a plan. It has to be the right KVK as well. And you might be wondering, okay, Guns, how did you know this was the right KVK? Well, the reason why I knew it was the right KVK was just because of the way this map works. Now, granted, our Dragon Zone was very lackluster, to be honest. But so as soon as I saw that NXW was extremely active, but we were active enough to be able to hold them when we were here at the Spire and over at this Spire here, we were kind of just stuck behind a Spire. We tried a few times to push, but we just didn't have the numbers. So as soon as I saw that we were active enough to defend, and also active enough to kind of just like poke around whenever I needed to like pick out some fights or get them to fight, like, it was perfect. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm easily going to be here for a long time. And then Zone 3 opens, which was a free Zone 3 for us because we were a WAO. Our new Pass 6 was going to open, and that was going to be some fighting here as well. Dragon Zone was going to open. That was going to be some fighting zone as well. And then I also predicted that they were going to continue pushing us, which if they did continue pushing us hard, I believe BTX is having some troubles right now in terms of some players leaving, so that's probably a big reason why they're not doing it. And WB is going into holidays, I think, next week. So, I mean, some of them are probably already traveling. I don't know what the reason is, but what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that picking the right season means that you want to make sure that you analyze the map correctly and that you understand you're going to get a lot of fights. Okay, the kingdoms that you're fighting against, because even though on paper around the map it looks like you might have a lot of fights, you might not actually like have the fights. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're 30 mil, so like we should be able to get a good fight. Nah, it doesn't always work out like that, right? So that's definitely something. Now, the biggest part to get into it, this KVK was one of the, well, I say one of because it kind of slopped past my mind on a few other KVKs, was the first KVK that I was like, I don't know if I even want to play this game anymore. Like, I'm being 100% with you guys. You guys know I keep it 100% raw with you guys. I don't lie to you guys. Like, just like the fact that we were losing, I would ping to so we can go to war and we wouldn't have that many people show up. So because people didn't show up, I had to get really creative and do like little bits of guerrilla warfare style fighting with the few people that we would have online. So like, it was a very depressing season for us, honestly. And then NXW are really good trash talkers, so all of that kind of like piled up was like very frustrating. But not even that, like the biggest thing though was the time commitment. As you guys know, I love Call of Dragons. I really do love Call of Dragons. But if there's not big fighting, like, I'm not a fan of cheesing and, trying to poke at your tower so you can come out and then I snipe you from a Nea around the corner. 100% I did do that. I would hide a Nea in a bush. I would hit the tower with a tank. They would come out with range units trying to get me, and then bam, my Nea smacks him in the back. Like, that's how ratty we were being to get to our goal. Okay? So I don't like playing like that. when there's not big wars, I like to heal to make sure that I'm healed for a proper push, or make sure that I'm healed for a proper defense, right? All of those things, like that's how I prefer to play the game. Yeah, that probably means I'm only gonna be at like 40 to 60 mil merits, which is still very respectful to be, or respectable, to be honest. So yeah, the mental side of thing, like, was it worth it? Yes, because of the accolade and the experience to see what some of these players that have been getting 100 mil merits plus, like Fluffy, Heist, a bunch of other players. Let me show you guys the merit leaderboards, actually. Look at this. Fluffy, 172 million. I think he's going for his 200 mil. Scamaroni, 169. Bodie McBoatface, 131. Mubin, 125. Nikki, 124. Matt, 117. D, 105. Myself, 103. Beta Angel, 103. Joker 7, 101. Putin, 101. Jason Jeezy, 97. So he's going to get there. Here soon, we're going to have like, by the end of the season, we'll have maybe like 20 players that have reached 100 million merits or more. Now, don't get me wrong. I watched Bean's video on this KVK being the most disappointing KVK and this and that. It's like, yeah, you know, I can agree to a certain extent in terms of like Dragon Zone being lackluster, but you can't judge the entire KVK just off of Dragon Zone. You know what I mean? Like, even though, like, yes, everyone, especially as a viewer, everyone wants to see a bang out for the Dragon, but there was so much fighting that happened around the map. Okay. Besides that, so I'll show you guys a little bit of the, we're kind of going into some season summary stuff, so I'm not going to be like too crazy on this. Alliance merits, we're kind of split right now, but yeah, I mean, you can see based off like the total merits that are even on this board, not even looking at who has what. I think BTX ended up with the most merits. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. I want to see like which KVK had X amount of merits like in their KVK. We might be knocking at the door of at least top 3 in terms of overall merits. But yeah. Oh, dang. Real quickly. And I'm going to do it real quickly, okay? Let me show you guys my mag tree. And it's going to be quick, guys. So have your stuff ready. Here's my mag tree that I was running on my mages. Bang. Here comes the Burt tree. New Burt tree, by the way. New Burt tree. Really good tree. Yep. Shout out Soma, by the way, for that tree. Ming, also a new tree for Ming. Here you go. We switch more towards Thirst for Blood. And then Moo. Moo hasn't changed, guys. Moo hasn't changed. Here's Moo. Okay. I'm going to show you guys Lilia. Bang, hers changed as well to Thirst for Blood. And this one. The reason why I took out Caged Animals because Thea doesn't have, like... I guess she does have a rage skill, technically, but... what is this one? Yeah, so I mean, I'm starting to become more of a fan of Thirst for Blood, to be honest. Okay, now Kuma, brand new Kuma one. I'll probably end up making its own video, to be honest. But here's a quick Kuma one. Bang. Never seen before on the channel. I've shared it with a few of you guys that have messaged me in game. But here's the Kuma build. I know you guys saw my Kuma reports. They're pretty nice. Granted, you definitely need a good pet to make sure you get some good reports there. Let me show you guys my Naya one real quick. Since we're doing everything real quick, I don't mind showing you guys my setups. Here's my Naya. Bang. Now the Urag. Urag. There you go. But yeah, guys, well, you guys saw it in the cap video too. I'll post the cap video on the link. But yeah, guys, anyways, 100 million merits. Let me give myself a round of applause. Even the wife would check in. How many merits are you at now? How many merits are you at now? She would see, like, you know, how fatigued I was, man. You know, on top of that, I still hit the gym, guys. I'm still a husband. I still have kids. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I have some specific duties that I have to do. So it makes everything a lot more difficult. But luckily, my wife supports my passion. So, you know, that's a big plus. You know, a lot of you guys I don't recommend, you know, putting this much time in a video game. But yeah, I hope it really does help you guys, though. Like, trust me, the 5 billion mana, that is like a rough, like the most efficient person that I've seen get 100 mil merits, and I forget their name because I saw it in Call of Stats, was I think 4.2 or 4.3 billion, and they had like 100, they had a bunch of mage merits, like a bunch of mage merits. So if you can do it with just ranging its only, then yeah, obviously it's going to be a lot cheaper than having a resource heal infantry, which, you know, majority of, you know, I did definitely yeeted a lot of infantry in the beginning when I shouldn't have. You know, I had 3.3 billion mana at the time, so I felt saucy, you know. I felt real saucy, but, you know, I ran out of sauce. I ran out of sauce. What can I say? You know, wasting all that resource healing on marches that are getting me like 11k merits when realistically it would have been better to just, you know, heal my mages and be more effective and wait for my infantry stamp to come back up, you know. So I hope this video helped you guys out a lot, man, to be honest. Let me know the key things that helped you guys out a lot, especially if you guys made it this far. Very long video, but I mean, these are all things that, excuse me, have to be covered on a road to 100 million, you know. It's not simple. I mean, I guess it's simple, but you know, there's definitely a lot that goes into it. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on the video. Definitely helps me out a ton. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel and don't want to miss out on all the testing, we got infantry around the corner. We got the anniversary around the corner. Okay, so stick around for that. Make sure you guys hit that sub button, turn on the bell notification, lets you guys know when I go live or drop a new video, guys. Until next time, it's your boy Guns, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.
We're not